Up next was the Jerry Springer segment.
You want me to carry the ball down the field?
Man, actually, technically, I believe what was, I'm trying to remember if this is correct or not. No, never mind. Yeah, you take the ball, please.
Okay. Yeah, guys. I mean, Jerry comes out. Actually, Stephanie introduces him.
Right, yeah.
Says that he's a legend in television. He knows how to deal with matters like this because it just breaks her heart. And of course, Stephanie is just such a great person and everything. Jerry comes out and he says, he's really excited to be back on Raw. He heard about the Bella situation, and when Stephanie and WWE reached out to him, he thought maybe he could help. So he wants to get right into it. And I will say that much. Kudos to Jerry for not being awkward and really wasting time. Like he just went through the bulleted points A, B, C, D. Let's get through it.
Right.
Invites Brie out. Brie pretty much says she's felt so hurt. By the way, side note before I forget, Brie does have new theme music. I really can't afford an opinion on it because honestly, I didn't even really know what to make of it. I'd have to go back and listen to it by itself, maybe with crowd noise and everything else taken out of it when a track like that gets released. But she does have new music, and pretty much says how she feels terrible, and Jerry brings up the apology that she tweeted after she shoved Nikki, and then they showed a highlight of that when Nikki was being all obnoxious, and she's like, just quit! God, you're such a quitter! Well, isn't that what you want her to be, because you asked her to quit? Who gives a crap? But then, it pretty much talks to her about that. Then, Nikki comes out. Pretty much the whole theme of what Nikki's saying is, she's tired of the crap of just being blamed, for victimizing Brie when she's the real victim. She's the real one that's suffering for everything that she's had to put up with Brie over the years. And they show footage from Total Divas that actually does seem to make a compelling case for Nikki, because Brie was saying some stuff that I would have looked at her and been like, bitch, excuse me? What'd you say to me?
The whole wedding angle on Total Divas, Brie turned into kind of like a demanding jerk, but having literally just gone to a friend's wedding myself, I've grown to realize that apparently weddings just bring that out in people.
But here's the thing, Ashton, and while I do agree with you because I've had somewhat similar experiences, here's the thing, even if that is true, why is it when the narrative so consciously seems to be wanting to portray Brie as the babyface and Nikki as the heel, would you give the heel any credibility? Why? I just feel like that muddies the waters and really just bodges the whole message to me. Because now, who's to stop me? And I think I'd have all the legitimacy to do so for saying, you know what? Nikki is right. What she did was perfectly justified. And then more than that, like Brie later on in the promo, didn't seem like she could come to grips with the fact that Nikki cost her match at SummerSlam and aided Stephanie and gave her the win. So she had sour grapes about that. But then to make it even worse, they get the mother and father involved. Not physically, because if they did, I would have lost it. I just would have started laughing and thought, oh my God, Jerry, you really spared no expense. But they are, I guess via satellite or whatever, they just send in like recorded messages. And honestly, I can't really remember what the father said. I think he just said, look, you're sisters, you love each other, reconcile. Yeah, I think he wanted to say you're embarrassing the family, just get your stuff together. But the mom, the mom is what really made me feel for Brie, because she's just, or Nikki rather, because she's just lauding all of this praise on Brie, saying, as the sister who's the bigger person, who's the more level-headed one, who's this, is that. And I'm like, well, Nikki's kind of standing right there, like, don't you want to talk to that daughter too? And then it just seemed like the mother didn't give a crap, and then I'm like, wow, this family seems pretty awful. I hope I would never have a Thanksgiving there. And yeah, really, if this angle, in all seriousness, if we were to treat this with the dignity and the gravity that WWE wants us to believe that it deserves, if this did anything, and I can't believe I'm saying this about a freaking Jerry Springer segment, it made me more sympathetic with the heel.
Nikki Bella, yeah.
And I hate you, WWE, for doing that to me.
I know, right?
I hate you for it. I hate your face, and I am not going to forgive this for some time, because it's Nikki Bella. She had the growing up Bella segments just last week. I should not be first of all, I shouldn't even be having any sympathy, or as Scott Steiner would say, any sympathy at all for either of these women, okay? I should just be laughing at this segment from beginning
You get none of my sympathy.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't got my sympathy at all. And you know, like, that's what we should be doing. Like, that commentary, that should be the height of seriousness that we devote to the Bella Twins. But you did something, WWE. You screwed the pooch. You screwed the pooch on something that I don't think anybody's taking seriously anymore. I am now sympathizing with Nikki Bella. And Brie isn't doing herself any service, first of all, by saying, well, I can't forgive her for costing me my match and this and that. What happened to you just a week or two prior being so heartbroken because you lost a sister? What is it? What is it? Oh, my God. Ashton, let me ask you something honestly. I think you saw the end of this segment, right? How much of this segment did you see? Because I know you were flipping back.
No, I like I said, I went back and watched Raw, and I ended up sitting through the whole thing.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. You did go back and you did watch it. Okay, so yeah, and then they get JJ involved, and I can't be remiss in saying that. And then it seems like, okay, WWE might recover. They might have JJ turn on Brie, so then it's like, man, Brie's really she's like the black sheep of the family I never knew, and that could have been an interesting avenue to explore. But for some reason, JJ must have gotten in his head, wait, I'm Raw. I'm on Raw. It's live television. I've got to do something cool. So what does he decide to do? A fake out, because he's like, I think you need to stop pretending to be the victim, and he's saying it all serious and looking right at Brie, and then 2 seconds later he's like, ha, swerve, Nikki. Like, what are you people doing? I feel like, see, like, that's the thing, Ashton. I've been laughing at this feud. You know that I've been kind of an a-hole to this program, even though I do feel like I have my moments where I try and be sincere and I do try and help it along. Well, this is going to be one of those moments because, again, they could have done something interesting here. If they had JJ side with Nikki, you could have done a story where it's like maybe Brie is revealed to be the black sheep of the family, and she always tried to do right by her sister and her siblings because she always wanted to be accepted and be cool and do things with them. Like, maybe they'd go to the movies together, and Brie would always be left alone with mom and dad because they just didn't want her tagging along. Like, just that kind of sibling. But you have him side with that at the last second, too. He doesn't even make it clear right off the bat, which would have annoyed me, but I could have gotten over it. No, you deliberately make it seem like you're going to do something interesting only to screw me in the ass. Like, screw you, man. Screw all of this. And really, the only reason it isn't a heat of the night is, one, because it would have been childish of me. Because what I'm complaining about is failed potential, not reality. And the second reason, of course, being our Divas role. But, man, how could you screw this up? And then, do I even need to talk about the tussle they had at the end where Jerry Springer supposedly sprained his ankle, did all these injuries. They bring out the stretcher. And I can't believe I'm saying this either. But I actually have to praise WWE. That's right. All of this crap, I have to praise WWE for not breaking out the neck brace. Because I was convinced they were going to break it out and do the whole schmaltz. But I have to give them credit for actually showing restraint. Kiss my ass. That's my review of this segment. God, that got me more riled up than I thought it would. I really didn't expect that, but yeah. Man. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't have any thoughts on thoughts, John.
How dare you? How dare you?
I'm leaving you hanging, man. I'm leaving you hanging.
Fair enough. Nikki's competing for the Divas Championship. Brie's crying in a corner.
Can we just establish how poorly Brie Bella has been handled?
I mean, dude, she didn't even get in the championship match, and I don't think she will.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about as of, I want to say May, but it might have been June, when she first quit.
Right.
She was the most over babyface female in the company.
Yeah, without question. I don't know. Because, see, I feel like they had her momentum, and I felt like they even sustained it pretty well and did a great thing by doing the whole Stephanie arrest angle. But then as soon as, they did the whole infidelity thing and they set up the match for SummerSlam prior to that and they cut the promos.
Botched.
Like Brie's weaknesses as a babyface, as a talker, were slowly revealing themselves. And now that the anchor of Stephanie has pretty much been all but removed, because she still has a part here and there, you're just really saying, like, wow, it's just what. And in fact, if I'm being honest too, and again, like, I'm not even trying to joke around, I did feel like Nikki was the better of these two yet again for this segment. I actually felt like she improved a little bit in this segment. And again,
and if anything, Brie got worse. She was even more robotic, and she sounded confused as to what she was saying.
I don't see. The thing is, and this is when any angle gets dangerous. You never want to let the audience let on that your characters don't know how to feel. Because that's what I'm getting from Brie. When she talks, and the things she said in this segment, between the complaining about the match, but then, of course, just wanting her sister back, wanting to fix the family. But then even having sour grapes about that when both of her parents really urged her to. Like, no, I've decided to take a different attitude. I've reflected on things, and yeah, I'm going to go into business for myself. It's confusing. An angle like this shouldn't even be taken all that seriously to begin with. I mean, the serious factor in it is that it's a betrayal angle, is that it's one sister betraying another. But, I just feel like the talking points aren't even consistent. And this angle did have potential. It really did. That's the one part when I say this consistently that's not a joke. It had potential, and you could have added certain layers to it. JJ, can't believe again that I'm saying this, had the potential to be a layer. But instead, you just make him this quick plot device to just be like, oh yeah, Brie, she's so perfect, and Nikki's so awful. What makes storylines like this work is that there is no black and white. Everybody's residing in a shade of gray, and yet you're not even really taking advantage of that fact. I'm just so done. I'm throwing my hands up right now. I know none of you can see it or care, but that's really what it is. I'm throwing my hands up. I'm just like, let's get through this. Let's have their match, and just let's put it behind us.
Yeah. How long do you think this is going to last, dude?
Too long. That's my answer. If you want a more legitimate answer.
You could have said that 3 months ago and you would have been correct 2 months ago.
If you want a legitimate answer, I'd say this is going to wrap up before Survivor Series. I do see it going on a while.
Oh, God. Survivor Series is so far away, though.
In fact, you know what? I'll even go one step further. I'll change my mind a little bit. I could even see, because WWE really doesn't give a crap about Survivor Series, I could see Team Nikki versus Team Brie being a Survivor Series.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's going to be their freaking marquee match.
Yeah, I know. Only on the WWE Network. It's Bella versus Bella.
Watch as twins formerly united by blood have decided to hate each other.
They went from holding hands to clenching fists, and they've amassed their respective armies for the Survivor Series. Yeah. Just shilling out that $9.99 for that.
Nikki Bella and Stephanie McMahon on the same team.
You know what? I could buy that too, dude. And you know what? You know what kills me? And I don't want to give any merit to this or any credibility, because I said it half jokingly, but how much do you want to bet that not only would they do Team Brie versus Team Nikki, but they would have Stephanie on Nikki's team and AJ on Brie's team, and they tease that feud too some more. It's crazy, dude.
Well, if that's the case, then Paige would have to be on Stephanie's team.
Yeah, and then I don't know who you'd put on Brie's team. I mean, maybe at that point, I'd
put Eva Marie on Nikki's team.
Yeah, I guess Naomi on Brie's team.
Yeah,
maybe Natalya too.
She'd fit so much better on Nikki's team, though.
I know, right? And then I'd love to say, because of Paige and everything else, hey, give Emma the final spot, but she hasn't even, I don't even know if she even has a footing to find. So I don't know who the fifth woman would be. Oh man, it's and you know what? Let me just say, and then I'll get it completely out of my system, I promise. But seeing the Bellas do this bad, and just WWE forcing me to be more sympathetic with Nikki, really makes me wish that not only were these two still together and heels, it makes me wish that Karma would have fulfilled her promise and returned for those two to give her the beatdown that she promised. She promised us, man. She said, "When I will be back, and I hope you two are still here when I come back." And just, oh God, I want that beatdown now. Just
Karma
so
isn't even with the company anymore, dude.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, this pains me so much that I wish that Karma was still here and maybe she could have fulfilled that promise. Just come out and just shut both of them up. But it is what it is. Yeah, so I see it ending. Maybe even at Survivor Series again, Team Nikki versus Team Brie. And hopefully it's not that painful on the way there, but let's not kid ourselves. So, that's that.